Welcome to our discussion. Today we'll be delving into Patrice Lumumba's powerful speech delivered on June 30th, 1960, at the ceremony proclaiming the Congo's independence from Belgium. This speech, filled with both hope and a stark recounting of colonial injustices, offers a poignant glimpse into a pivotal moment in African history. What immediately strikes you about the context surrounding this speech?
The context is incredibly significant. Lumumba's speech wasn't just a celebration of independence, it was a powerful indictment of Belgian colonial rule. He eloquently describes the brutal realities of exploitation, oppression, and racism endured by the Congolese people for 80 years. The speech also foreshadows the challenges that lay ahead as the newly independent Congo faced internal and external pressures that ultimately led to Lumumba's tragic assassination.
The speech powerfully details the suffering under colonial rule. Can you highlight some of the most impactful descriptions of this suffering?
Lumumba vividly portrays the dehumanizing aspects of colonialism. He describes forced labor with inadequate pay, constant insults and violence based on race, the unequal application of the law, and the segregation in housing, public spaces, and even transportation. The imagery of blacks being addressed with tu instead of the polite vous reserved for whites is particularly striking, illustrating the deep-seated racism of the system.
The speech isn't just about the past, though. What vision for the future does Lumumba present?
Lumumba paints a picture of a future Congo built on social justice, economic independence, and national unity. He calls for fair wages, an end to discrimination, and the establishment of a just legal system. He envisions a Congo that will be the pride of Africa, showcasing the capabilities of its people when working in freedom.
He mentions the need for national unity. Given the diverse tribal makeup of the Congo, how realistic was this goal and what challenges did it present?
Achieving national unity was, and remains, a significant challenge in the Congo. Lumumba recognized this, explicitly urging his people to overcome tribal divisions to build a strong and respected nation. However, these divisions, exacerbated by colonial policies of divide and rule, were exploited by internal and external forces, contributing to the instability that followed independence.
The speech mentions cooperation with other nations. How did this aspect play out in reality?
Lumumba sought international cooperation, even expressing hope for continued positive relations with Belgium. However, the Cold War context significantly influenced the Congo's trajectory. The newly independent nation became a pawn in the geopolitical struggle between the US and the Soviet Union, with both superpowers, along with Belgium, interfering in Congolese affairs.
The speech ends with a powerful call for African unity. How does this resonate with broader Pan-Africanist movements of the time?
Lumumba's call for African unity strongly resonates with the broader Pan-Africanist movement, which sought to unite the African continent against colonialism and neocolonialism. His speech became an inspiration for liberation movements across Africa, highlighting the shared struggle against oppression and the aspiration for self-determination.
Considering Lumumba's assassination shortly after this speech, how does the speech's message take on a different meaning in light of his fate?
Lumumba's assassination tragically underscores the fragility of newly won independence and the dangers faced by those who challenge colonial powers and their allies. His speech, delivered with such hope and determination, becomes a testament to his unwavering commitment to freedom and a poignant reminder of the price he paid for his ideals.
The speech mentions the need to revise old laws. What kind of legal reforms would have been necessary to address the injustices of the colonial era?
Significant legal reforms were needed to dismantle the discriminatory legal framework imposed by the colonial regime. This included repealing laws that favored white settlers, ensuring equal treatment under the law regardless of race, and establishing institutions to protect fundamental human rights. Land reform was also crucial to address the colonial seizure of Congolese land.
The speech calls for economic independence. What specific economic policies would have been needed to achieve this?
Achieving economic independence required a multifaceted approach. This included diversifying the Congolese economy beyond its reliance on raw materials, investing in infrastructure and education, promoting local industries, and establishing fair trade relationships with other countries. It also meant challenging the neo-colonial economic structures that continued to benefit former colonial powers.
How did the international community respond to the Congo's independence and Lumumba's leadership?
The international response was mixed. Some countries offered support, while others, particularly the US and Belgium, actively worked to undermine Lumumba's government. The UN's involvement was complex, with its peacekeeping mission ultimately failing to prevent Lumumba's assassination. This highlights the limitations of international intervention in the face of powerful geopolitical interests.
Looking back, what is the lasting legacy of Lumumba's speech and his life?
Lumumba's speech and his life continue to inspire movements for social justice and self-determination around the world. He remains a symbol of resistance against colonialism and a powerful voice for African liberation. His legacy serves as a reminder of the ongoing struggle for equality and the importance of fighting for one's rights, even in the face of overwhelming odds.
The speech emphasizes the importance of respecting the lives and property of both citizens and foreigners. How did this aspect of his vision fare in the chaotic period following independence?
Unfortunately, the post-independence period was marked by significant violence and instability, making it difficult to fully implement Lumumba's vision of peaceful coexistence. The secession of Katanga, fueled by foreign interests, further destabilized the country and led to widespread conflict.
This has been a fascinating discussion on Lumumba's powerful speech and its enduring relevance. Thank you.